Hey all, Ospin Snakeo here with another quick little custom review. I know you're looking at it thinking, what are you done? It looks exactly the same. Well, I have basically taken out the spring and the gimmick from the neck to make it articulate. And now he can actually put his head all the way down, he can lift his head forward, he can bend at the neck, he can open his jaw individually. And it was not terribly difficult to do, to be honest. And I've even made it removable quite freely, and I'm going to show you how to do that very quickly. I'm not, as everyone knows, I'm not a fan of gimmicks. I hate spring-loaded blah 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 blah. I like just figures to do, you know, what they do, figures, you know. Although this was not a terrible gimmick, I must say. I did think it was quite funky, and I'm a bit annoyed because for starters, I cut out the light thing and took out the battery, so I just had the spring-loaded head, and I cut out all the cables and everything I could find. And then shortly after that, I went on Shapeways and I found out someone whose name escapes me, I will leave a link in the description below, has made a free floating articulate head and neck for this guy, and it looks freaking awesome, and I'm blown away by it. It's very pricey though, because it's so much and it's quite big. It's like the neck itself is like that, and the head itself looks like about this big as well. So it looks a lot has gone into this, and it's even incorporated the light mechanism. The cable actually goes all the way through the joints, all the way to the head. I will try and find that video and leave that also in the description, but I really want that. And again, you know, my pennies, they're very, very tight these days. As soon as I can, I will get that and I will show you guys. But for now, I just want to show you, if you guys didn't like the grrr, you could theoretically keep the lighting gimmick if you wanted to and just take out the spring. So I will show you how to do that. What I have done, if I take off his wings, is I've cut two little notches. I don't know how well they're coming up on camera. You can see these screw things. Two little notches in there from on the battery covers. So when I transform him, I can actually take this whole assembly off. Which, you know, actually I'll show you now quickly. Do the quick transformation. Added a bit of glue to tighten up his hands as well, so they're really loose. Right, so you do the usual well, there we go, and then you come out, and then you can actually just give it a bit of a wiggle, and it pops out. Rotate his head around, straighten his feet out, and you can do that while the wings are on. As long as you could use these grooves, which does help, like so. See, that clears it. But I personally like my wings this way. But if you do it all the way around and hinge it ever slightly, see, it clears that fine. It might even come out like that, I'm not 100%, but then put the wings back on, get the wings out of the way, and then you don't have his honking head and neck like hanging down from his butt, so that's pretty cool. So I think that's pretty funky, I like that. And like I said, with the head, you've now got a joint here, so you can go at the actual like chest where it is, and that normally sits in the actual back like that, and then you've got a joint here. So you can do that, and then you've got the neck, the head itself is on a joint like that, and then finally you've got this. Now if you remember with the actual gimmick, it sits constantly perched like that, and you pull the lever here, which I've cut off. I know it's got a bit of a hole, but I was just trying to show you guys. You pull this little lever down, and then the whole thing kind of goes down, out, and the mouth opens, all in one shebang, which is pretty cool. You know, like I said, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, I'm not happy with it. Okay, so what I've done is I've opened up here, 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 and here, and I've had to cut away a few bits. So let me show you how to do this. So let's tilt the camera down a bit, so I can just put this stuff somewhere. Right, open up the head. Actually, you know what? The first place you need to open up is this part here. You've got to undo these two screws. And then open up this screw. Boom, boom, boom. Screw, 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 screw. And then just pry these apart. They do come apart, I promise. There we go. Now, first thing you need to do is, you see these little cogs here? I've had to, as you can see, just chop them all down with my little X-Acto knife. I didn't take them completely away, so they've still got a bit of a bite because I haven't touched the cog inside the next part. So there's still a bit of a bite, but it goes past them freely. I've also put some glue inside there because it does become somewhat loose. Wait, this part? No, not this part, sorry. I've put it on the actual stick. It can be quite loose once you take these off. You can leave this bit on, you don't have to take that bit off. Just wiggle. As you can see, plenty of focus, there you go, plenty of glue on that, so it's got a nice firm grip. Let's just put these in this part. But that's all you really need to do to this one, is just chop down these little cogs. Okay, next we'll take the neck part down. I'm a bit worried, I think I've glued one of these parts together and I honestly cannot remember. With the fake buster, not the fake buster, with the let me just find that thing, one sec. Okay, I found it. It is the Ultimate Transformers Prime Beast. He's called the Beast King Head plus Neck. And it is made by the designer Insidious. INCEDIUS. Now, when this thing's pricey, with the strong and flexible plastic, it goes for €59. So it's a heck of a lot of cents. Yeah, I learned euros is cents. I was actually annoyed. My sister told me like about 2 minutes after I made that video, but you know, it was dumb. So yeah, that's good to know. Right, see, that just comes off there. So let's haven't done anything to this at all. So we'll use that to hold the screws. It's a good way so you don't forget which screws go where. But on the this side, you can see this is attached here, and here's those cogs I was telling you about. And if I try and wiggle this out, the glue does make it somewhat difficult to get out. I've struggled with this, putting it in. There you go, it's coming. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. Okay, now as you can see, this orange bit is quite clearly a different part, and it's attached. This whole orange piece that stems all the way up through the neck to the head is what gives it that gimmick. Now I've cut this off here, and I've sanded it down. Well, I've trimmed it down, so in fact it actually clears under the next part. So as you see, it's got a bit of a gap. Focus. Man, I wish my camera would learn how to autofocus. There you go. It's got a bit of a gap, but you can see it clears under and just goes in there. So long as you've cut it, you could leave a bit on there. So long as you cut it to like this shape, it would look a bit better in my opinion, but I kind of figured that out after, unfortunately. So let's wiggle that out. And as I showed you, put some glue on it to give it a nice tight grip. Bit of glue in there. Be careful, because when I put these on, the glue had dried, but it was such a tight fit they almost broke. Well, I don't think they actually almost broke, so I was very careful. But if I applied the wrong pressure, they would have broken, and that would have been the end of that. Okay, so let's go back to the head. Finish doing this. When you do the Shapeways set, you actually need to keep the yellow spike for the gimmick, because like I said, it's all attached. There should be cables running all the way through this, but as I said, I've taken mine apart. Normally I get my, oh there you go, nice. I was about to say, normally I get my knife and pry that open. This bit I haven't done anything to, so we can put the little screws in there. And you take off the jaw. This is the one I had problem getting off. There you go. Now you see, I've just clearly cut off these two little bit, this bit here. Now this was attached to this bit here. There was like a little bit coming out with a bar going in between. That bar went through that hole. So when this kind of went like that, that angled that towards, which made the jaw go down. Now I've kept a little bit, if I show you, guess my finger, you see there's a little bit, I've kept that still, because if I didn't, see it catches on here, and it catches on there. Well, that the jaw closed. But if I took that all the way off, then the jaw would have just gone all the way back. So we obviously didn't want that to look ridiculous. And you can see here that the crown little LED. I don't actually need that in there, but yeah, that's the light, and there's the cables, they go all the way through, and then you've got the eyes which are attached to the LED, and this whole part lights up due to the gimmick, which was a pretty cool part, and I kind of wish I did keep it, but that clips in there on the eye socket quite nicely. But as for the neck, this one is really tight, and I don't think I'm going to... No, it's coming. He says. No, I don't think that's going to come out. I'm not even going to try. No, it hasn't moved an inch. Right, but as you can see, same as the lower part of the neck, I've cut off this and there. This, I don't think I actually glued this in, so no, I haven't glued this part in. So generally, like when the neck's upright, like that stays like that, and then when it stretches out, it goes like that, which made that go like that, which made the head kind of go like that, you know. That's how the gimmick worked. But I've cut this up again so it can clear into there. You only need to risk, you follow the shape of this little crevice here, and inside this I did nothing short of attach that. This is loose in this. This yellow orange part here is not attached to this part of the neck at all. So I've had to glue that straight on, and I think I've done it on both sides. So I couldn't, even if I did take this apart, you wouldn't really see anything. Put a bit of glue in there, you can see, to give that a nice, the previous piece a bit of tightness. Glue in here. Now this is two separate, like there's part here and a part here, but this part here is actually part of the head. So you have to glue here and glue here, and then it gives it a nice snug finish. And as you saw, glue on the joint here. This is one I almost broke when I first put the glue on. Because I said I didn't need to glue this because I just slimmed it down, and it doesn't matter if it really moves. I was thinking of trying to get it to go in the neck, but then it would just look a bit weird. So, but you know, there you go. Once you've trimmed that off, cut this to shape, you can glue that in place if you want. Glue it in place there, glue it in place there. You can reassemble. So let's do exactly that. Excuse me. I can't line the head up. There you go. I don't think these screws are any particular order. They all look the same size. But you know, I could be mistaken. They look the same size to me. So you having fun watching me screws? That wasn't meant to be a pun. Sorry. One thing that I did think about this was it's very flat, and the fact that it's only got an up and down movement is a bit, but still cool. Right, just put, after the glue's dried, you might have to sand it down, you might have to file it down a bit if it's gone a bit too much, because they are quite snug, but they're also a bit loose. Just put that on there, make sure it can move freely. I could probably make that go a bit higher, actually, come to think about it, but you know, I'm happy with that. This just simply clasps over. Line up the orange part down the bottom here. I love working with tiny screws, they're always a pain in the backside. That's not gone on properly, has it? Sorry. There you go. I think that's clipped in now. There's not really much to bite on this top panel, on this part. There's not much to really bite down on. Sure, like the cups for the screws. You could also take out this whole orange part if you want and put a different material in there, like I've been going on lately about my styrene. So there's a bit of a gap there, sorry, one sec. There you go. Okay, then you grab this piece here. There you go. You grab this piece here. Now you want to put it like that because things think because they've all been spiking like that, but this actually goes on the chest, so it goes down. Feed that on like that. Feed this on like so. And put any screws. To remove this, if you're very careful, you can, like I said, if you wanted to keep the wiring and the lighting and all that, if you don't care about the light up, then just cut it off and then pull the wires out. That's what I did, because I'm not a fan, like I said, of gimmicks, but that was pretty funky, that one. It was one of the best I've seen. But to remove this, you don't get a lot of movement from its back, because the wires, I'll show you, they come all the way like down through here, and they go all the way through here, and then they actually come through here, which go straight to the battery pack. But yeah, just to reintegrate on the movement, so you've got plenty of movement here, movement there. Like I said, if you hear that, that's the teeth buy-in, so it's still got a bit of if you don't want to have it removable, then that's entirely up to you. Like I said, I personally am not a fan of the wires, so I didn't. And you can see the wires where I've cut them off just there. I could try and get them out of the actual back, but I think that's going to be a wee bit of a challenge. Right, upside down. Camera go up. And just kind of, there you go. If you didn't remove it, then you could at least point it straight. That's not on. There you go. You can at least point it straight down now, so it's not sticking out as much. If I take the wing off completely, you can see that. So before the head was pointing outright because it was stuck in that position, but at least now you can point the head a bit more flush. And like I said, to remove it, what you need to do is undo this screw here. This takes off this whole part here is one piece, and it's screwed in here, and it's pegged like just under here. So you undo the screw, pull it from this bottom part, and it should just unclip out. Then cut that way if you want. You need to measure up. I went up about I think it was 1, 2, 3 grooves, and then you undo the 2 screws here and here, and then the whole head should come away. I actually took away these, I took away them, I undid the whole back part, and I took the whole thing, tried to take the whole thing apart before I realised that it was just these 2 screws. So yeah, that's all, just keeping it on there, so bear that in mind. And like I said, see, goes in there just fine. Put his wing back on. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to really say. I'm very happy with the result. If oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. If you do this and you want to keep the light gimmick, then the cables will stretch, but you'll only get about that much flexibility. So be really careful. Watch the video, which I'm going to try and find, of Insidious. That sounds right. Of his neck. Even if you don't want to buy the Shapeways, but it shows you a good idea of inside this guy with the wire before you start playing around. Anyway, guys, that's my little custom review tip thing for the Transformers Prime Ultimate Predaking neck. Hope you guys like. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say. Oh, I will actually add one last thing about the Shapeways head. If you do want to do it, you do still need this part as well. I forgot to say that. So make sure, if you don't just like go, yeah, throw it away and go get it. Not that, I don't think anyone would be that stupid, but some people, you never know. So for a bit of forewarning, you need this part, you need this pointy part here. Okay, anyway, watch the video. If not, it's still a great piece of technology and kit. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. Bye bye.